Today is a big day, guys, and we have some great news from Atari. They have just announced the Atari 7800 Plus and 21 new games up for pre order. So let's get into it right after this. All right, guys, as I said, the Atari has just announced a new retro console, the 7800 Plus. In addition, they've announced 21 new games across, I believe it is 14 new cartridges, or sorry, 10 new cartridges, 10 cartridges, 21 new games. And as you can see here with this promotional video, it is that exact styling of that 7800 Atari, which is one of the most popular Atari consoles released. So let's jump in and take a look at some of these new pre-order bundles. Of course, first you have the 7800 Plus, which does come with that gamepad. This is the gamepad that was originally exclusive to Europe, but was released not too long ago. Of course, it's compatible with your existing 2600 plus if you are a 2600 plus consumer, and this new 7800 plus. Of course, these will work with your authentic consoles as well if you still have those vintage, which is great to see. Here is the box, and included in the pack-in, it looks like you get Castle Quest, and we'll take a look at that cart in just a little bit. And of course, just like the 2600 Plus, this plays both 2600 and 7800 cartridges. So basically, what you're looking at is probably a reshell of that 2600 Plus model with all the same capabilities. So if you do have that one, you probably don't need this one. But if you've been on the fence about getting the 2600 Plus, this one might be enough to get you over that edge if you are more nostalgic for that 7800 plus look and feel. And of course, it's got near compatibility with the original and third party Atari games. Since the 2600 plus release, they've done a lot of updates to expand the compatibility of this emulation console. And this is an emulation console, it's not FPGA. So when you put that card in, it's going to download the ROM to the system so you can play right off of there. And of course, now with all those third parties, homebrews, there's a lot of support across this. In this particular bundle, it does include the wireless controller, as I mentioned earlier, which is more like a gamepad than those old 2600 joysticks. You also get, of course, HDMI and sports widescreen or 4:3 viewing angles. Again, includes included cartridge has Bentley Bear's newest 7800 Adventure, Bentley Bear's Crystal Quest, and of course a USB-C charging cable that you can use to plug a charging adapter in to power this up. Of course, this is available for pre-order. This is the MSRP 129.99. They also have another pre-order bundle, and this one is discounted. This one comes in at 169.95. It also includes the traditional 2600 joystick controller, the paddles, and 2 extension cords. Same games and everything, so there's that bundle. That'll save you $30 on this pre-order. And of course, you can order the individual controllers by themselves, but let's get into the games, right? We have Space Duel, and who doesn't love that? There's that box art. And each one of these game packs cartridges does come with the cartridge, in some cases, the manual, the art, and they are great recreations. They look amazing. So we're also looking at Asteroid Deluxe, and every one of these is going to be 29.99, so $30 on the pre-order. We also have Berserk, great game. Love to see that. We have Frenzy, another good one. And of course, the pack-in, if you already have the 2600 plus and you're not going to buy the 7800, you can pick up Castle Quest all by itself. We have Caverns from Mars on the 2600. which of course is compatible with both the 2600 plus and 7800 plus, as well as vintage originals. We have Bounty Bob Strikes Back on the 7800, and now we get to some of our multi-pack games, and these are great because just like the originals, they feature dip switches to switch between the games. And of course, we have the Epics game collection. So let's take a look at that. It looks like we're going to have California games, winter games, and the summer games in this collection. It does say it features 1 to 8 players. So very cool in this game selection. Over on the M network connection, we have a whole host of games. We have Armor Ambush, Astro Blast, Frogs and Flies, and Star Trek. So another, sorry, I said Star Strike, not Trek. So another cool addition to this lineup. And lastly, we have the Real Sports Collection, and who doesn't love these old 2600 sports games? So on here, you are going to get Real Sports Baseball, Real Sports Football, Real Sports Volleyball, Real Sports Soccer, Real Sports Tennis, and Real Sports Boxing. So quite the selection um, on this one. And again, just a great lineup of those 2600 sports titles. So, as I mentioned, this is kind of a surprise announcement today, and I personally have loved my 2600 plus. It is a great retro console, and I'm glad to see Atari continuing to support this line, continually releasing new cartridges, new games, new controllers for collectors. And now, of course, we have a new console for those 7800 fans. Who knows? Maybe we'll see uh, some future consoles like the 5200 would be great if they brought that out. Of course, it's a fun console that not many people had. Of course, now that Atari has Intellivision, are we going to see an Intellivision Plus released at any point in time? Just really exciting to see these things and the support. Something I really wish other companies would do. Nintendo, if you're paying attention, we would love to see a NES or Super NES classic console that isn't just a standalone box, but one that takes real hardware, one that supports the actual physical games, and of course, re-releasing those originals, continue releasing new. Can you imagine a Legend of Zelda 3 on the NES or a Super Mario Brothers 4 on the NES? There are countless titles that you could expand in those lineups that modern retro fans would flock to. So again, hat tip to Atari. They are just killing it with these plus lineups, and I am glad to see that continue. This is probably the biggest dump of new titles they've done to date. So get your pre-orders in if you're interested, and let me know in the comments, is the 7800 plus enough to get you over that decision line? Are you going to pick this one up? For me, I'm definitely jumping in on these games. These are all great classic games from that era. If you are a Atari fan, I know it's kind of a uh, you either love it or hate it, or kind of a situation. If it's before your time, you just don't really care. But at the same time, this is the system that really popularized home video game consoles, not the 7800, but the Atari, of course. So I love to see it. Once again, guys, thanks for watching all the way to the end. And if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing. And until next time, have fun.